this is Mary from Around the Craft Room. Thank you for coming and checking out my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Like my last video, we're going to continue using infusible ink. And I'm going to use some markers, and I'm going to try some transfer sheets and use them in a different way than what you have seen them. I have a lot of embroidery designs and some old books, but I've just taken these to the copier and copied off the designs. And then, now these are pretty old. These kind of brownish colored ones that I have, they come out looking really dark when you copy them off, but it's really not going to matter. You're just going to take, I'm going to use this, I think I'm going to use this little boy here. You're just going to outline him and color him in, and all this dark color is not going to show up. So I'm going to take and start outlining them, and I've already started outlining the little boys. I started outlining this one. Now I would suggest, if you're going to use or do any coloring with infusible ink or the transfer sheets that I'm going to show you here in a minute, I would suggest the first thing you do is get some fine markers, or the medium, the ones that have the M's or the F's on the end. So I've started outlining them. I outlined her with, I think her skirt's blue. I outlined her dress in pink, and then I outlined the little boy, the little deer in brown, along with her face, and her arms are outlined in brown. But the thing about Cricut, as far as I know, they don't have facial colors, no skin tone colors, but as a crafter, we can get around that, and I will show you how to do that. Let me clean this all up, and I'll be right back with you. I've decided to go ahead and start with this girl. I've already got her outlined, like I said. I outlined this little deer in brown, and I could easily, the only color I have in my infusible ink pens and markers would be a black or some bold color. I really don't want to color him in any bright colors. And if I took the brown pen, which of course I could take this brown pencil and just go back and forth and just continuously color him in. So my problem is getting him all colored in without wasting all my ink out of this one little brown pen. Okay, so what I've come up with is the Cricut Infusible Ink transfer sheets. Come in lots of different colors. I think this is a pretty good color for skin tone. I think this would make a good color, or this, either one for him. Okay, I've got to go wash my hands and dry them real good because my hands are sweaty. You can't have lotion or anything on your hands when you're messing with the infusible ink transfer sheets, because it will take the ink right off of the paper. Alrighty, I'm back and got my hands all clean and dry, really good. And then we're going to open up this one that's got the brown in it. Now I've done a shirt. I think when we went to Disney, we did a shirt with this, and there is plenty of people that show you how to use the infusible ink transfer sheets. So I'm going to show you how to use all your little pieces. But I think I'm going to take him. I could color. See how many different shades of brown this is right here. So I could do lots of different colors, but I think I want him a little bit darker. So I'm just going to cut off a piece of this. Oh, look, there's a piece already cut off. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of this off, right like this. which really I still think it needs to be a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to take a section of this one over here off. There we go. Keep it in the black plastic. Now, take my water pens. This one's got a longer tip on it. They do come with different tips. That's fine. Now, I usually work on my glass mat, but it would show a lot of glare on a video, so I'm not doing that. So I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. But this is what I do. And I want a lot of the browns and stuff. So I'll just take my pen, my water pen, and color it in. Now, this is just copy paper. So it will buckle the copy paper. It will make it look all wrinkled and everything, but it's going to be fine when it comes out. And it barely, you look like it barely shows up, but it's going to show up. It's not going to be as bold and bright as the pens if you color them in with the pen. But I'm going to color this little deer all in with the brown. And if I get different shades of brown, that would be fine too. So I'm going to color them all in with this brown ink using these little pieces. I think I'll just leave mostly, I may try that really lighter part with the centers of his, but I'm trying to get the darker part of the ink here and just coloring him all in like this. We're going to get him all colored in. I've not seen anybody do this. I just was playing around one day and I'm like, okay, I really want to color these little people with different colors than I have. I don't have them all. I don't really need the expense of getting them all right now. I mean, I may just go tomorrow, who knows, and buy some more markers. But right now, I think this is working pretty good. I'm, again, not sure what I'm going to put it on. It needs to be on, for the colors to show up as good as they can, it needs to be on something that's mostly polyester. Actually, I bought some stuff from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to try to put something on. I'm not sure if I'm going to put these on there. I may make this into like a little pillow or a bag. I can come back in, and if I want to add it, make him a little darker, I'll come back in and make him use a little bit more color and make him a little darker. See? But we'll see what color I can make this. And then if you just want to take a piece of paper towel and wipe off your pen, just, you know, bring enough ink down to, water down to get it washed off till you get it clean. And then you can start with a different color for her face. I think we're going to use this shade of, what is this? It's a marble paper, but I'll just pick out some of the lighter shade of that and use it for her skin. So this is what we're going to be doing. See, the first coloring is pretty light here. And then I go back in. Then I just let that dry just a minute and then go back in. And like I said, it's just copy paper, so it's going to buckle your paper. It's not a big deal. Also, if you want to use some design that you don't want such bold designs, you might want to just do like some watercoloring design on with this. A little bit darker. Just go over it again. My problem is I forget which part I've made darker. So just take your time and do some coloring. And this has got a lot of color on it. This little piece of leftover paper, which has got a lot of color. So I'm really bad about saving everything. And I made a shirt. I think we did I can't remember. Before we went to Disney, maybe a year or so ago, we made shirts. And I think I did an animal print one when we went to Animal Kingdom. And I'm just like, okay, this was kind of expensive, but I don't remember how much they cost, but they're pretty expensive for just one design, especially if you're making a detailed design and you're clipping and you're throwing away most of this. I saw someone make a video the other day where they made an outline of some words, which, I mean, the shirt was really cute, but I'm like, oh my goodness, how much of that infusible ink are you throwing away? You know, you need to get it as smoothly blended as possible. Again, if you want, that doesn't even look brown, but it's going to be brown. I'm pretty sure it's going to be brown when we get it all ironed on. You know, take your time, because it will, you don't want the paper to fall apart with so much water on it. But just let it dry a little bit before you go back, and just a couple of minutes. Just let it dry a little bit before you go back and put another layer of color on him. You can use just regular paintbrush and dip him into water and do this too. It's just you got to make sure if you clean it off before you get onto a different color, which is the same as this, but I mean, you can use just a regular paintbrush. You don't have to have water pens to do it. It's just mine. It's just easier for me since I have them. Make sure you don't touch something else, or you're going to end up with a design somewhere you don't even realize you have it. And I can't guarantee you I hadn't already touched something. So if I take even a piece of paper towel or something and hold it down, it would probably be better. That way I won't get it on my finger and then turn around and touch my finger to something. Put some more right in here. And then I'm just going to definitely throw that piece of paper towel away. And I can save this because it's got a lot of more brown on it. And it will dry, so just like that. Then I'm just going to take on my stamp pad. You can use any kind of plastic or whatever. This is just something I had laying here. I'm just going to squash out. I'm just going to squash out a little bit of water there and rinse my brush off pretty good before I go with a different color. Now, here's something else. In case these red apples, and maybe I want a little bit of yellow in there, but I don't want it just a square, so I'm going to just color off onto this. And like I said, I normally use it on my glass mat, but my glass mat would give me a lot of glare. And then maybe a little bit of red. I think this is red, yeah. And just color it on there. You can barely see the ink on this. I mean, I don't even know if you can see the ink on this, but there is ink on there. And so I'm going to take and color in the yellow and just put some yellow highlights in my apples. Just barely have a little bit of yellow drops in there. If I just took the marker and put a dot in there, it'd just be pretty bold. And then just highlight the little yellow right there on my little designs of the apple. And then rinse that, wipe that off with my paper towel. And then take the red and finish coloring in with the red. Just put the red on. It's not going to be as, okay, my picture's not going to be as bright as you can with the, if you did it with just the regular pen. But it's still going to show up a lot more than you think. And see how y'all just kind of blended that in? Just kind of blend those colors together. Where I'm going to have a pretty little yellow. And so, and also the color that I'd already outlined, the apples in red. I'm kind of making sure I don't go out of the line with that, because I'm also bringing in some of that color into the apple. You get through with that, just let some more water out of your pen, and then wipe away everything on your little piece of plastic or stamp pad. That's what I'm using. Just one of those little cheap dollar stamp pads. Now I'm going to take and make sure I got that pen cleaned up pretty good. And I'm going to take and get a piece of this out. And we're going to color her face and her arms. So I just want a little bit of this design right here. Let's see how it blends together. So I'm wanting, I don't want the real light color. I'm wanting more of this lighter shade in here. I'm wanting some flesh tones here. So I'm just going to cut out a piece of this and use that. Let me put this all back together and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got this piece of Infusible ink transfer sheet that we're going to use for her skin tone, which I think I like this color. So I'm just going to start out by maybe, again, getting me another piece of paper towel so I won't have to hold on to this, which is dry right now, so it'll be fine. But I think we're just going to start with coloring in her face and go up into her hairline. And I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the hair yet, what color we're going to color that. But I'm just going to start with coloring her face and go over it once or twice. May have to go over it a couple of times to get all the color in we want. And it doesn't look like there's much color on there, but there's going to be more color. This ink is pretty bold, and there's more on here than what you think. Oh, that's pretty pink on her face. I may have to go down here and go over it with the lighter color. You can't actually tell for sure what color this is going to turn out to be, which again, I think that's pretty pink. I should have gone down and got some of the lighter shades for her face. So I'm not really sure what color this is going to turn out, but I know for a fact it's going to be better than trying to get any skin tones out of any of this. So, plus, you know, it really doesn't take much at all. I mean, look at that. It only took a little drop of this to color in her face. Go down here. Color her arms in. And you can also, I was going to just take the markers and do her dress and stuff, but we may go ahead and find some of these other sheets, this pretty pink or the purple or something, and use some of this for the rest of it. I'm going to color this all up using probably just pieces of these transfer sheets to color these. I will probably go back in with my markers and actually fill in the small parts. I now outlined the hair in brown, in the brown marker or the brown pen. So that's some of the brown pen itself is probably bleeding over into when I put water on it. I'm sure it's taking up some of that brown pen. And let's see. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, let's clean up our mat again. Get ready to figure out what color we want her dress. And meanwhile, I'm going to go in with this green, apple green, and color in my leaves that I outlined with a darker green. I tell you what, we can use the outline at the bottom of the skirt in the sky blue, but we might make it a little bit really lighter. We can also use this like and just do this little skirt in a light shade and underneath the bottom part of her skirt here in this real light. See, now this little flower was the sky blue from the pen, and then this is the light. We're just using it as like watercolor and making it a lot lighter. Now I do suggest, like, I need a little bit more blue on that paper there. What I normally do is I don't try to color it into the same spot. I'll go down here and color it because I don't know that water on these pens would be a good idea, and that's probably got some water on it. Okay, I'm back. I found this one, but I don't think I want to. I've already outlined it in pink, so I don't think I want to do this one. But while I was looking, I found some of these. Like I said, I made some shirts last year when we went to Disney, and this was left over from the shirts that we made. They've already been ironed on once, but I've saved these because there's still ink on there. I just have them in a bag, and I will take all of these designs. Ooh, look at there. There's some color. But I can use this pink in her dress. Let's just see if we can do that. I'll try that blue down here on the bottom part for dress, but let's just try using what we have here. I'm just going to try using up this here and start coloring her dress with this. Now this has got blue dots in it, so I don't know. I mean, it's not going to come out with blue dots on it, but it's going to come out with a different design. So they may have blue ink blended in with this pink, which is okay because I'm going to have blue down here on the bottom. All right, I'm going to finish coloring this up, and then I'll take the blue pen and do the same thing on the ruffles as I did a while ago, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Let's see if we can finish coloring this girl. And I went ahead and used this piece that we colored her face with and did some of our little guys' faces and hands. So we're going to finish up coloring this little girl and then coloring these guys. I've decided just to go ahead and do her little shoes in black. Now, I've messed up. I don't know how I did that, but somehow or another, I got a couple of little pink spots on her dress there. I guess when I was cleaning off my brush or something, I got a couple of little pink spots there on her dress, which I think it's going to be okay. I think I want all this in blue, but maybe a little bit darker blue. So we're going to go with the neon blue. Ooh, that might be a little bright. Yeah, that's going to be really bright. I don't think we're going to use that. But since we've already got it marked off onto that, we'll just move this off and maybe do his pants in this. Do his little pants in this. Working on 2 or 3 things at a time saves time from getting it all out. All right, I'm going to outline his shirt and all before I color this all in. So I'll probably get back with you. I don't have a red, but I want to make the shirt red, but I'm also just drawing it out on this neon pink. And then I'm going to color the whole thing in red. And we're going to see how that turns out. That's still wet. Yeah, I need to let it dry a little bit because I was putting my hand in it and then I'll end up touching something else. Just making a little checkered shirt here. Gonna do a outline here in this pink and then color it all in red so it might stand out a little bit better. Let's color his hair and then he will be about done. We'll just use up the rest of this brown and for his hair. We also colored the rocks in the same color, so I may have to put maybe some little yellow highlights or something in his hair too. Maybe with some sun bleached hair a little bit. Let's put some yellow in it. Let's have to let that get my brown off of my pen, off my paintbrush, and let that dry just a little bit so it will, so we can put some yellow streaks in it. There we go. It's gonna be hard to see, so we'll see if this shows up. Okay. Oh, I forgot the little patch on his knee. Let's do that. I don't have any green really on there, so let's put just a little bit of green on here to put the little patch of green on his knee. This little guy's done. Okay, we'll get back on here and finish up this decoloring so we can get the rest of this done. I hope this helps y'all come up with some ideas of how to use the infusible ink, or sublimation, is that what it's called? Without even having to have a Cricut now. My next video is going to be using something else besides the Cricut Infusible ink. And also be able to do it at a even cheaper price. Because these markers are not really very cheap. They kind of get a little pricey. And if you buy several of them, they definitely get a little pricey. All right. I hope that she's all ready. I'll let her dry while we go find something to put her on. Okay, I thought I was recording this one, but evidently I didn't record this one, so I'll do another one. And we will see, but right now I will take this off of here. It came through with butcher paper. Oh my. It turned out really cute. You can see where I put that tape on there, but I think it will fluff out. He turned out really cute. Let's start over and do another one because I thought I was filming this one. But look at him. He keeps pushing up like this. Almost like a sequin. Okay. Here's what we have. We have these microfiber cloths I pick up at the Dollar Tree. Okay. We're gonna get all the little plastic things out of there because you don't want those heated up in there. Those off. I'm going to take and put this one on this end of our little cloth. Kind of straighten it up a little bit. Then I'm going to take the lint roller this is going this direction, I want it to go this way, so I think I'll put it on the other end of the cloth. So it can go, yeah, so I can go down with the fibers. Then I'll take the lint roller and roll them down like this. Take this little guy, put him in there. Okay. And now we need, obviously, a clean piece of butcher paper. There we go. And we're going to set the heat press on here at 385 for 40 seconds. Okay. All right. Lift this up. Again, it came off on our butcher paper. You know, that would still be cute if you wanted to take that little piece of paper and put it in a journal or something. I'll let that cool just a minute. Kind of give it some cooling time. Just a second or two. Lift him up. Oh, he turned out really cute. Look at that. I got some color on there somehow or another. But that's okay. Isn't that cute? The color turned out really cute. Okay. Well, I have one more towel that I got. And I was thinking I'll just take her and put her on there and then maybe fold the towel together, sew it together, and make like a little pillow out of it. So I thought I'd just take and we'll fold this in half. I have to even it up because these are just little chamois and they're probably, oh yeah, they're nowhere near even, nowhere near square. But I'll just put it somewhere about here. And then we can sew the sides together and make like a little pillow, even if we have to put an insert, because if you stuff this, it's probably not gonna, it's probably gonna be like bumpy, but we might put a little cloth pillow inside. I'm gonna cut some of this off just in case I've gotten all this color here, and cut around it a little bit. And then get ready to put her on here. All right, we'll do the same thing. Roll it. We're going to put her right there in the middle of this. Put some tape down. Get some paper to put on top of it. All right, again, set the heat press on here at 385 for 40 seconds. And set it straight down. We don't want to ghost it. We don't want to slide it. And then push go. 40 seconds sometimes seems like a long time. And then we're going to try putting this on a little piece of cotton and see if it shows up at all on it. Okay. Let's see what happens. Ooh, this is going to be bright. The flowers are bright. And her dress is bright. And the deer's a little browner than I expected. I should use a lighter shade. I thought he was going to be even darker than that. I mean, even lighter than that, the way he looked on here. But that turned out a little darker than I expected him to. And fold this little chamois in half. Even it up a little bit. Well, may not be half since I put her up higher than that. But even her up a little bit. You could put a name down here. That would be cute. And then make a little pillow out of it. Okay. So I have, again, from the Dollar Tree, these little bags I bought. And I'm pretty sure they're just from the crafter section, the crafter square. And I'm sure they're just little cotton bags. I don't think they say what they're made out of. They're just little Dollar Tree bags. I'm sure they're a thin cotton because the fibers are very thin. You can see through it. That cardstock inside, it's cotton, or I'm assuming it's cotton. Go ahead and I'm going to heat press that just to get the wrinkles out of it. Take our lint roller and go over it. And then I'm going to take this little guy that we colored and put him on here. And then we'll see if it's going to show up on this little cotton bag. If it does, that's going to be really cute. Just get another little piece of paper. And put down there, and we're going to try to heat press it again for the same time for 385 for 40 seconds. Then you know what? This still looks like it's still got some ink in it. Let's put it on the other little cotton bag. While that's cooling, I'll get this other little bag ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a second printing of this one. We've already printed it off. We're going to see if it will work to get a second printing. Let's see what happens. It's not as bold as it is, only stuff that's probably got polyester in it. But it still shows up kind of cute. We've got paper inside it, cardstock inside it. And we're going to put this little guy on here. He's still got ink on him. Remember, I'm all about saving ink, because that's just what we're doing today. And put that paper on there. This paper has got some piece of tape on it. All right, but I think it will be fine. All right. Been cool for a minute. Okay, let's see if this one had any more ink in it. Oh my goodness. It didn't have all the color that it had originally, but it still got, for a cute little bag. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to take this cardstock out of here just before we throw away all of our little designs we colored. Ooh, that one's got some, that one went all the way through. Okay, take this and flip it over and put this other one that we have on the back side of it. I bet that's going to print off. It's probably going to take away a lot of this print, but well, I don't know. We're just playing at this point to see what we can do. There we go. Let's see if it took my color off of that one. Yep, it took some of the color off of that one. That's okay. It's still going to be a cute bag. Oh, there we go. Looks like I got a extra butterfly on there somehow or another. I don't know how I did that. Oh, I think it came through all the way through. This paper came through on both sides. Yeah, it did. But there's our extra little bag with a little guy on each side. That's our second printing off of that. And that's the bag that's got one on each side. Then we have this little bag It has one little guy on it. We have a couple of fishing towels and this one. Then we have the towel that we'll probably make a pillow out of that's got the little girl on it. So I think I would take a different brown, because that brown, I thought it was going to be pretty brown when we saw it, but it ends up being almost a black little deer. But he's cute. Oh, and look at the apples, how they're kind of got that yellow. Can you see them, how they got the little red and yellow? The red didn't show up as red because we had it all washed out with the water, but I think they turned out really cute. And I have another video coming up that is going to be using something different, but we're still going to be infusing it on. It's going to be using something other than the Cricut Infusible inks. So I'd like for you to stick around and see it next time. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and suggest it to other friends. So if you have some ideas or some comments or something, you know, of course, try to be polite. Like I said, it's just my second video. I've got a lot of learning to do, I'm sure. Thank you for watching.